Hello, and welcome to Palindrome ASMR, the show where I talk randomly into microphone because apparently it makes people relaxed. So today, I have something special prepared for us. Just me and you, the two of us, sitting in a coffee shop, enjoying some nice, hot cocoa. As you can see here, I already have a nice, piping hot cup of hot water ready to use. Now, I didn't use milk because I don't have any milk. I wish I had some milk, but I don't. My fridge is too small. It's already packed high with soda. Look at those vapor trails, those pillars of steam. Cheers. This is going to be good. So in my last video, I told you that I'd been feeling a little bit down. Maybe that was because I was getting tired of driving an old stick shift around. Maybe it was because my computer had a virus or some other problem that I just now managed to fix. I think that remains to be seen. I think it's fixed. I combed through every database, every forum site talking about that virus, and I just couldn't figure it out, and I think I finally have it, but maybe that's why I'm feeling a little bit better today. Maybe that's why I'm feeling like a nice cup of hot cocoa. Now this hot cocoa has marshmallows in it. It's that kind of hot cocoa. The marshmallows usually melt about halfway through the drinking process, and I'm going to be mixing it with this spoon. You gotta mix hot cocoa. This is a nice spoon. It smells like metal. Now, I usually don't drink hot cocoa. I drink tea. I am a big tea drinker. When I go to coffee shops, I drink coffee because I feel like buying tea from a coffee shop is somehow a cheat. Somehow it's wrong. You just know. When you can brew a cup of tea in 5 minutes at home and it tastes equally as good as the coffee shop tea, and it only costs 10 cents, why would you pay $3 for the same thing? But with coffee, it's a little bit different. Coffee tastes better from a coffee shop. For some reason, that coffee shop cup just lends itself very well to coffee. They have good coffee, and the reason why I'm talking about a coffee shop is because I went to one today. I don't normally frequent them, and so it was a big event. I was just meeting up with a couple of friends and talking. Better not manipulate this too much, otherwise it'll rip. So let's go ahead and open it. It smells like hot chocolate, if you can see. There's There's the hot chocolate. You can smell it too if you want. Have you smelled it? It smells like chocolate. That's the sound of the marshmallows rattling around. Now, if you can see, there is a mound. Let's see. There is a mound of hot chocolate on the cup there. And I'm going to stir it in. Now, I think normally you're supposed to put the hot chocolate in first, but since I couldn't figure out a way to boil water and pour it into a cup here on camera, I decided to boil the water beforehand in my microwave. That's normally how I boil water, because when I boil a tea kettle, I tend to forget that it's boiling, and I have my headphones in, and the kettle just whistles and whistles until it runs dry. And that's a bad thing. I think it's all mixed now. I want to lick this spoon, but it looks kind of hot. Gonna have to wash that later. Don't have a dishwasher in here. Gotta wash all my stuff by hand. Cheers. Now, if you want, you can grab your own cup of hot cocoa and drink it along with me. That's some good stuff. I was worried about the quality of this hot cocoa since it's been sitting in the cupboard for God knows how long. At least since last Christmas, the last hot cocoa season. But hey, I'm the kind of guy who eats the decoration candy canes after they've been in storage for 1, 2, 3 years. They don't lose any of their flavor. In fact, if you ask me, they become more flavorful, because instead of being hard, they're chewy. And I personally prefer chewy candy over hard candy. That's a good question to ask. A good conversation topic. What do you enjoy more? Chewy candy or hard candy? As I told you, I enjoy chewy candy like Skittles and Starburst and various kinds of chocolate bar. Not really chocolate bars, but like Hershey's, Milky Ways, Snickers, Three Musketeers, Paydays, Babe Ruth. Not 100 grand. I don't think I like 100 grands. I like Zero. The Hershey Zero bar. You don't find it very many places. I don't know if it's a southern thing or if it's just not very common, but it's got a silver wrapping and it just says Zero on it. And it's this nougat fudge covered in white chocolate, and it's the most wonderful, amazing thing ever. Although I'm starting to get tired now of them. I've eaten so many that I've started to get tired of them. I've probably eaten dozens upon dozens of them in the last year. This hot chocolate is at just the right temperature. Just the right temperature to taste good without burning the tongue. Drinking cold hot chocolate is tough, while drinking chocolate that's overly hot ruins the taste. You don't get to taste it very well if you drink it hot, piping hot, like boiling hot, fresh out of the boiling tea kettle hot. It's a little bit too hot, I say, if you take it just after boiling it, but you don't have that problem if you do it in the microwave. Now, I'm the kind of person who enjoys tea so much that my parents, for my 19th birthday, bought me an electric tea kettle and a box of fine teas. That's how much I like tea. And I use them all the time. The fine teas were gone, at least the ones I liked. They were gone in about a week, leaving me with this nice bamboo box. It's a very interesting box. Maybe I'll have to feature it on this show sometime. It's a very interesting box. It ought to provide some interesting sounds. Yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. Tomorrow's video is going to be that tea box and all of the tea bags inside of it. Because I was kind of running low on video ideas because I had decided to create these every day. And so I have to come up with a video idea every day. I don't know how Ephemeral Rift does it. He uploads an hour-long, very original, never-before-seen video every single day. And they are unique, I can tell you. Just go look up Ephemeral Rift and see some of his videos, and you'll understand what I mean by unique. For one video, he slowly counted paper clips for 60 minutes, and that was it. 1 paperclip, 2 paperclips for 60 minutes. It was amazing, legendary. I'd say it was probably one of the most legendary ASMR videos I've ever seen, because that man has got the patience of a rock. Me, I don't have that much patience. That's why my videos are only 25, 30 minutes long, maybe sometimes 20 minutes long. That's my goal. I shoot for 20 minutes, and if I still have things to talk about after 20 minutes, I talk about them until I'm done. But making a 60-minute video every day, editing a 60-minute video every day, I couldn't do that. But, okay. Well, time to change the topic. Because there was an interesting anime that I watched today. There was a really interesting anime called Something Girl. It was about voice actresses. And I only watched the first episode, but I call it interesting because it had some of the nastiest characters I've ever seen in an anime. Not like the nastiest likable characters, rather. These characters were just nasty. They showed the nasty side of human condition. Only I somehow found myself liking them. Like, you had the main characters down talking, like trash talking someone behind their back, and you had them complaining about their job, and you had them saying people were fat, and they were like, "Ugh, he's fat. I don't like him." They were judging people by their appearances. They were being lazy. They were generally being how people are, how people can be sometimes under the right circumstances. And I found it refreshing, actually, because so many of anime protagonists, so many anime characters are nice. They're just nicety nice. And for that matter, so many characters in general in books, maybe not so much movies, but in my books, and I admit my characters can be nicety nice. They always apologize. They always think about the other person. They always they never trash talk people behind their backs. They're friendly with each other, but without being fake about it. And and I just thought it was interesting that an anime could take me in a direction that I've never seen before. That's why I love watching anime, because sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes I find something that surprises me. Something that makes me think, wow, I'm glad I watched this. Wow, I'm going to use that in one of my stories. Wow. Wow, I'm gonna remember that as something that influenced how I thought. Now there are some anime like Death Parade, perhaps, or Madoka Magica, of course, or for me personally, Cardcaptor Sakura, actually. That influenced my thinking. Only, even though I only watched a couple of episodes, that was one of the anime that's inspired me to write Armed, Cute, and Dangerous, and it was the one that sort of colored my perception of magical girl, the genre. And then there was a certain scientific railgun. I really liked that one. That one gave me a new perspective on superpowers and how they should be used and how they can affect the world around them. Wasn't a perfect show by any means, but it was very good. I liked it because it was very inventive. It was used its setting well. And then there are animes like let me think. Gargantuan on the Verdurous Planet, which was a 12 episode anime, not very well known, that really influenced my thinking about being transported into another world and languages. So, in most being transported into another world stories, and most stories where someone gets transported into another world, they can speak the language. But this person was transported into another world and couldn't speak the language, but he had an AI with him that could instantly decode the native language and translate it for him. So that influenced my thinking on AI translators. That basically was the kernel for a lot of my thinking about how AI should interact with language. How someone with access to an AI that is smart enough to decode and translate a language, an AI with a complete theory of mind, how someone would go about using that AI. The main character had a little display across his eyes here that displayed subtitles for everything that was spoken to him. Now, later on in the story, he lost the capability of the AI and had to learn the language on his own. But for the first 70%, 80% of the story, he was completely held up by this sentient AI who translated the language for him. And I just found it interesting that that story handled language so well. There was another story that I think did not handle language very well. It was The Devil is a Part-Timer, Hataraku Mao Sama. And there were sections of it that were in complete a foreign language that wasn't Japanese. It was a completely made up language. There were like several minute long segments of it that were in this foreign language, and it wasn't subtitled. There were no it wasn't made clear what they were saying. They were just speaking to each other in this made up language, and there was no way of understanding what they were saying. And though it was a good adherence to the cause of realism, at the same time it broke my immersion in the story because I didn't know what was happening. So they tried to go too deep. They tried to build their world too realist, too real. And in doing that, they broke my immersion in the story and caused me to feel like this was a story that I was watching, because the language was made up, and it was kind of obvious that the language was fake, was made up. How they were speaking it, how it was structured, it was kind of obvious that it was a fake language. And I think that was interesting. That influenced my thinking on using fake languages in media. If you don't translate those languages, if you don't make them known to the viewer, who is the fourth wall, if you don't translate it for the fourth wall, then there's no reason in putting it there. So, I mean, it wasn't translated in the original Japanese either. There were no Japanese subtitles, no English subtitles, no subtitles at all. So, I just thought it was interesting. Someone is texting me right now, and it's been about 20 minutes, and my hot chocolate is almost gone, so I'll see you tomorrow, and come back tomorrow for a opening and a looking at my expensive tea box, the bamboo box full of expensive teas. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. That's the obligatory end card. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. I forgot to promote my book. Bear with me while I do this outro. If you don't like reading, you can skip this. You can just close the book down. But this is the 7th book that I wrote, called Mac. It's about a McDonald's restaurant that turns into a Gundam robot. So basically, the plot of the story is let me just read you the back cover, because this is the best way to describe it. Max is a normal kid with normal ambitions. Do good in school, have a nice life, get the girl. But when he asks out the seemingly ordinary October autumn, his life takes a turn for the crazy. The McDonald's restaurant she works at turns out to be a giant robot, engaged in a battle for the palate of the American people. Did I pronounce that right? Palate? It's a French word, I think. Sucked into this world, Max is called upon to join the franchises in a battle to save this dimension from a version of Joseph Stalin who merged with Skynet before he died and holds the keys to an army of space orcs summoned from the depths of Mordor. Before he can get his bearings, things go terribly wrong, and Max is forced to go on a journey with a small band of friends to defeat AI Stalin while simultaneously juggling a crazy superpower given to him by an even crazier time-traveling wizard with unknown intentions. Nothing is normal anymore. Everything is at risk, and the only thing standing between an army of Godzillas, Sith, and orcs and the planet Earth is a transforming robot fast food restaurant and its part-time high school employees. So that is the back copy of Mac. Get it on Amazon. The link will be in the doobly-doo. It's a 99-cent book. You can spare 99 cents. And then once you like this book, be sure to read all of my other books. And that's it. I'll stop promoting myself now. Stop shamelessly advertising. Thank you for watching. You are amazing if you have watched this far. I'll give you a little secret. For those of you who've watched this far, the reason why I started this channel was to advertise my books. I wanted to have something that would attract people and then catch them once I have their attention, and once I have them invested in what I'm doing. I advertise my books and say, hey, look, I've written 7 books. Now, can you please read them and give me feedback and enjoy them if you want, if you like them, or don't enjoy them if you don't happen to enjoy them. But that was the reason why I started this channel, so for the record. And the reason why I'm continuing, though, this is a addendum. The reason why I'm continuing is because I enjoy it. The reason why I started was because I wanted to promote my books. But the reason why I'm continuing is because when I sit in front of this microphone and speak softly, I find that I'm having fun. I don't like not doing it. I don't like waiting for the moment. And I don't like setting up because I have to reset every time. But I do enjoy doing this, which is why I plan to talk for 20 minutes and end up talking for 30 minutes and maybe more if I don't stop myself. So thank you for watching. You're amazing for watching this far. You are an amazing person. Thank you very much. I will be back tomorrow with tea sets. Goodbye.